Hallo alle zusammen, es ist Montagabend. Herzlich willkommen zu unserem Livestream. Heute habe ich wieder einen Gast aus Irland. Hi Justin, it's great to have you here on my live stream tonight.
Guten Abend.
Yeah, very good.
Ich kann nicht sehr gut Deutsch sprechen.
Just a bit.
Ein bisschen.
Yeah, very good. So it's great to have you here tonight, and we will talk about your gin, the Bertha's Revenge gin. So maybe you can tell the people a bit who you are, what are you doing at the distillery, so the people know who's talking tonight.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Justin Green, and I'm from Ireland, and our distillery is located in County Cork, which is the most southerly county in Ireland. And our gin is quite unique in that we're using milk as one of our main ingredients, and we're using a whey alcohol that is derived from milk. Most gin would be using a grain neutral spirit derived from mainly wheat, sometimes barley, and we're using milk. So that gives us a real meaningful point of difference. And when we set out on our gin project 5 years ago now, we opened the distillery. We really wanted to make a gin that was evocative of our terroir, and we, most of the gin ingredients are imported anyway, like the juniper, the coriander, the cardamom, the cinnamon, the citrus. We don't have many fruit trees growing around County Cork, so we wanted to employ as many local ingredients as possible in our gin making, and we discovered that we could use whey alcohol, and it's produced quite close to here. The milk is produced by local dairy farmers, and then is sold to a cheese making company, and then they separate the curds and whey, and the curds is used in cheese making, and then the whey is initially fermented. They produce a whey beer, and then it's distilled, and then we buy in the base spirit is 96% alcohol whey ethanol. Everybody else is buying in grain ethanol, and what it brings to the whole party is it has a lovely mouth feel. It's luscious, it's rich, it sort of has you don't get any of the throat burn that sometimes spirits give you, and we're really, really pleased with it. And I know people say sometimes base spirit is not important, but we feel it adds a lot in terms of texture and body to our gin.
Yeah.
And and the flavor comes from the botanicals, of course. You've got the juniper, and we are quite spice heavy in our gin, because we discovered early on when we were developing our recipe that the whey alcohol is quite rich in texture, and it carries all those spicy botanicals incredibly well.
Very good. Great. So we have lots of viewers tonight.
Good.
That's very good. So I don't want to show all now. I just want to say hello to everybody who's watching tonight. It's great to have you here on our stream. But what I would like to show you is that Julia is watching.
Hello,
Hi,
Julia.
And not far away from you, Peter is also watching.
Oh, fantastic. Hello,
Hi, Peter. That's nice to see. Yeah, so okay. Hello, everybody. Feel free to ask questions, give your comments, and we will be more than happy to answer all the questions.
Yeah.
So I'm just a bit irritating because there are some from the guys who were here last Thursday on this stream where happened something. There are coming comments on that. That's why I was just like a bit, oops. But we move forward now. So you told us that you established the distillery 5 years ago.
Yes.
And I was 2 times already at Ballyvolan House, where you are situated, because you don't know the first time because you haven't been there at the first time. We were just standing in front of the closed door.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was just on a tour, and we said, oh, it's just 5 minutes away, and we stopped. So yeah, and last year we met each other. No, 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably 2 years ago, I think. Yeah.
2 years ago we met each other, and I really like the location of the Ballyvolan house and also your distillery. And I think the people can.
It's a lovely setting. We're right out in the countryside, and we're surrounded by lush, rich pasture land. And Ireland, as you know, is famous for its dairy industry, so it's ideal for the dairy industry. And the distillery is located in the farmyard, and it's an old country manor house. And we operate the house as a guest house in the summertime. We have a lot of tourists from all around the world, mainly Americans, Irish, British. We get quite a few Germans here as well. And what we offer is a very authentic experience here. The ambience of the house, it's very old school. It's nearly 300 years old. And, it's full of antiques, and we offer a real sort of cultural roller coaster. When people come to stay in Ballyvolan House, they feel a real connection with where they are. And it's not just the ambience, the style that's authentic, it's the food and drink as well. And we grow a lot of vegetables in our wall garden, and we keep rare breed pigs, and they all end up on the menu. And then also the guests love drinking gin before dinner that is produced here. And we're always very happy to give our guests a little tour of the distillery during their stay. And we also host tours for tourists. You don't have to stay in the house to come and visit. So we do host tours, throughout the year.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I know we saw all the chickens, and we had the chickens on our arm. Yeah, so it was very nice to see that. And I can just recommend to go and see your house and the distillery. And maybe we should show the people a picture of the whole distillery, because they just see. Of
course, yeah. I'll walk around. One of the families just come to say hello.
Oh, hi, hello.
Yeah, so I'll walk around and just show you
okay, that's good. That's great.
You get a good sense of it. So I'm just walking away. So it's an old cattle shed. We're making gin from milk, so it's only very fitting that we are making gin in an old cow shed. So my father was a dairy farmer at Ballyvolan House, and in this building here, we used to keep the cattle during the winter. And so 5 years ago, we kicked the cattle out and put a new floor in and did a little bit of renovations, and here we are. And we started off with one of these stills. Can you see the two stills in the corner?
Yeah,
we can see that. One. Yeah, and we actually had a lot of help from our friend Peter Mulryan from the Blackwater Distillery, because we were not experienced distillers. We're still not experienced. We're still learning. 5 years on, I think you can become a master distiller after 7 years practicing, 7 years trading, and then 7 years more of perfecting your skills. So we're far from master distillers, but we're getting there. And we have good help.
Julia says I can see a beautiful car still.
Yes. And then we started with one of these little guys. They're from Broland in Belgium. And then we got a second one. And then last year we made a big investment, and we bought a beautiful 550-litre Carl still. And it took us a while to get going. We had a few little teething problems with the heating elements, but we are going full steam ahead now, and it's in full swing. And it produces a delicious, clean spirit. It's interesting. It's slightly different to the two little ladies that we started on, and we find that the spirit it does. We're still tweaking the recipe for the larger capacity, larger volume runs that we do, but it's producing a delicious, clean spirit. So very
good. Yeah, we have a first comment. I like the Bertha's Revenge gin. It's one of the best on the market. Very tasty. Sorry, my English is not the best. I can hope you understand me. Yes, we understand you. No problem. Yeah, very good.
You're all probably wondering who Bertha is as well. Why we've named our gin Bertha. Like, Bertha is a very famous lady in Ireland, and she was the world's oldest cow, and she lived in County Kerry, which is the next door county to where we are now, and she lived until an incredible age of 48 years old. And she was the oldest cow in the world, and the Guinness Book of Records have recorded this as a major achievement. And she also had an eye-bulging 39 calves during her lifetime. So when we were decided to use whey alcohol, which is derived from milk, in our gin. We were looking around for a good name, and we discovered Big Bertha, who was a legend in Ireland, and we couldn't call it anything else. And so we went down to visit the owner of Bertha.
I think we should show her.
There
That's Bertha.
And
Yeah.
we went down to visit the owner, George Kelly, and we asked permission to use the name, and he very kindly gave us his blessing. It's very important to us that he was happy for us to use the name. So we're bringing her back in spirit, literally. And she died in 1993. And when she died, the whole village where she was from had a big wake, and the whole town got drunk for about 3 days. And a friend of mine who was a journalist was in town the same night that she had the wake for Bertha, and he joined in and actually wrote about Bertha for the Guardian newspaper in the UK about 6 months later. And that's how I discovered Bertha. I was always aware of Bertha's existence through Turtle, and when we decided to use the way, it didn't take long to reconnect with Bertha. And then my friend Turtle introduced us to the owner of Bertha, and then Bertha's Revenge was born. And revenge is not supposed to be negative. We just took the view, it had a nice kind of ring to it, Bertha's Revenge. And if you've given birth 39 times during your lifetime, you deserve to take revenge on something, so it's not supposed to be negative in any way at all.
Very good. Yeah, we have some comments. We have lots. Yeah, they're all German viewers, and they were asking if we can speak a little bit slower so they can follow us a bit better.
No problem. I'll speak much more slowly.
Yeah, they are interested, but their English is not the best. So maybe we can just slow a bit down. Yeah. So I think the story of the Berthas we mentioned is very interesting. And when you see the bottle, you have this iconic cow, and I really like it. I like the design of it.
Instead of the hoof print on the wax seal.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a nice. Yeah. We like that touch. It's a very expensive part of our packaging. It adds a lot to the whole cost, but we think it's quality, and we're very happy with it. It is.
And what I really like is that you are doing very, very authentic and do crafted gin. You every batch number is written by hand, and you can see that there's not producing machines or hundreds of people.
That's right.
Hands-on.
Yeah, we're very proud that we have full ownership of the process. We distill the gin, we bottle it, we pack it all here on site. We have a bottling machine, and we build pallets, and then they're picked up and distributed all around the world. And we really enjoy the fact that we have this ownership of the whole process. There's so many gins now which are made by a third-party distiller, and it's people sometimes are not very open and honest about the production process. And I think that gives us an edge, and it is authentic. And having our location, it is evocative of our terroir. We're using milk from local dairy farmers. We also use water from our own well on the farm. And when we visit America, we sell our gin in 8 different states now. And they're always blown away by the fact we have our own well water, because the water in America is terrible quality. And I think they're always very impressed by the fact we use our own well water from the farm. So, that's a very big part of our ingredients.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah. So I think I should show up this comments when he's saying, I have only my school English knowledge from 15 years ago. So this is why some guys asking to speak a bit slower, but I think that's fine. Yeah. So we have been talking a bit about the distillery and about the gin. So maybe we should have a taste of the gin and talk a bit more about the ingredients and things like that.
Sure. I'm just going to move back behind the table, so hopefully you can see me and hear me.
It looks very good when we see the full setup. Very nice.
Crystal clear. So first of all, I'm going to make I'm just going to pour a neat Bertha Revenge gin. And actually there's a restaurant in Belfast called Ox Restaurant, and it's a Michelin-star restaurant. And they actually offer Bertha's Revenge gin on their digestif list. It's not on the cocktail. It is on the cocktail list, but it's interesting that they have it alongside cognac and calvados on the digestif list. because he serves it with neat and a little splash of water or just a lump of ice. And
Okay.
he serves it as a sipping gin. And it's something that we really enjoy as well, drinking it neat with a little bit of water, just to open it up, because the water, it's a bit like whiskey, you know, when you add water to a neat spirit, it's like rain falling on a hot garden in the summer. It just opens up all those aromas and it opens up all the flavors.
So it's just a gin with some ice at first.
Yeah, or a little bit of water.
I try that.
You need that little bit of dilution just to release all the flavor and the aromas.
Oh yes, so when you add a bit of water, the aromas are released a lot.
Correct.
You got much more.
Yeah, and it just softens it up a bit as well. I personally am not a big fan of drinking spirits neat. I think, you know, even when I drink whiskey or tequila, you know, I like to add a little bit of water just to open it up and soften it up, and it makes for a much more smooth drink. But what aromas do you get on the nose initially, Marika? Can you pick up any particular of the botanicals, any specific botanicals when you?
I think it's a bit more herbal notes. Normally on a gin you have more of the citrus notes. Yeah. Here I get more herbal.
Yeah,
but there is something, I don't know how to say what it is, but you have one aroma on front.
Yeah, I get some of the spice we use, like the cumin and the cardamom, especially on the nose.
Yes.
Particularly the cumin, I think that stands out quite strongly.
The cumin is that I was how often I tried that gin and I was just always having what is on my nose, and I never would think that's the cumin, but that's it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Some people recognize the aroma, but they just can't name it or they can't place it. And when you explain what it is, they go, that's it. It's the cumin.
Yeah, that's it. You really get that on the nose.
After gin, cardamom is our second largest component of our botanicals in Bertha. So it is a spice-forward gin. And as I said earlier, the whey is so rich and luscious that it carries all those heavy spices incredibly well. And that's cool. We also have cinnamon, and we also use a little peppery seed that we forage locally in the summertime called Alexander's. I don't know what the German is, but I will look it up and send it to you, and you can put it up on your.
Yes, yeah. So what I can tell you is the first time I tried that gin was at the gin bar in Dublin. And I ordered it because they offered it with watermelon and basil. And I was like, no, never this could be watermelon and basil in a gin. And it was the best combination I ever had. That was so good. So I think that fits perfectly to that gin.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to mix you a little cocktail. We have one of my favorite summertime cocktails. It's with rhubarb syrup. And we grow rhubarb in our wall garden here at Ballygalan House, and we cook it down with a bit of sugar and water, and we eat the rhubarb with our dessert or for breakfast with your granola and yogurt. Yeah. And then what is left is the syrup. So it's a sweet, sugary syrup. And what I do is I add 1 shot of rhubarb syrup into the cocktail shaker. We do 2 parts Bertha's Revenge gin. And then I have a little...
But you don't measure it. You don't measure it?
I free pour because I'm experienced in the bar. But yeah, it's wise for people who don't have a good sense of free pouring to pour it into a measure. And then a little shot of fresh lime juice.
Okay.
Just balances the sweet rhubarb. And you need that acidity to balance the rhubarb. And then I put in 3 or 4 lumps of ice. Then put the shaker on, and shake it vigorously for about 40 seconds. And then we normally chill the glass first. You just keep the glass nice and chilled and cool.
Yeah.
Give that a little chill. And it has a lovely pink colour. And that's it.
Could you get that more to the camera that we can see the color closer to the camera? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah.
This is our spring, summertime.
Yeah.
Oh, sehr gut. Wunderbar.
Very nice. Yeah, what I have here, I have just some things for a gin and tonic with me.
Yeah.
I got today really fresh strawberries, and I thought it might be a good garnish for a gin tonic. And I have lime, mint, and rosemary.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, I can do a gin and tonic with these ingredients. So, okay, I think I try the Bertha as a gin tonic with the strawberries and citrus mint, those leaflets here. I think that might be a good combination. I try it and I tell you if it's good. Okay, I have here an Indian tonic. I think you can't do something wrong with that. But I have to add some ice. Oh, Julia is saying, looking forward having this drink at the distillery.
Yeah, likewise, Julia.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Julia to come and help us develop some new recipes and develop some new products. For the last 12 months, there's been several delays. One was our still wasn't working properly, and then the pandemic kicked in and delayed everything. So we really are looking forward to having a few with Julia very soon. But maybe you should show Julia also your very nice bar you showed us. This is also very good. So I have now I like the classes. I like the classes. They are so cool. I have to tell the people that I just got them in last week, so I really like them. They're new. This is very good. So Bertha works very good with the strawberries. It's very nice. Yeah. The herbal notes with the fruit berry notes from the strawberries. That works very well. Then you have the next visitors, Sabine and Andreas will also come and visit you. But Andreas, her husband, he doesn't like gin. But Sabine is drinking then the gin and he can drive. Yeah, but we have a very well-stocked bar of lots of whiskey, vodka, beer, cider, whatever he likes. And we actually try to source a lot of locally produced beer and cider and spirits in Ballygalan House, because it goes back to offering that authentic Irish holiday experience. And we're always happy to guide our guests and show them what's the best from the local area. That's really good. Yeah, you have a really nice whiskey bar also. So I've seen that. Yeah. And just going back to our recommended serve for a B&T, I don't know if you can all see that on the screen clearly. It's we recommend, a shot of Bertha's Revenge gin, classic Indian tonic, nothing too spicy or too botanical, because our gin is quite spice forward and quite fragrant. So you really need to choose a tonic that will just accentuate the flavors of Bertha's Revenge gin rather than clash with them. And then for a garnish, we recommend just a very simple orange peel or grapefruit peel works very well too. And that's our classic B&T. And we're a bit old school here. We go for the long glass, the highball glass. I know in Spain they do the gin tonica glass. It's not something we traditionally would use in Ireland, and we're a bit old fashioned. So we stick with the highball glass. Yeah, and I really like your classes, that they are not the typical gin classes. No, it's more like this is handy. So it's
It's really good.
The Riedel wine glasses. It's very similar to the shape of the stemless wine glass, and it allows the aromas to swirl around the glass very well.
I think this will be my new gin tonic glass because it's also not too big. I don't like the too big glasses because then you have to drink a very large G&T so that it looks good.
Yeah.
So here you can have a smaller one.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very nice.
I find a lot of bars, they have the gin tonica glass and they put too much tonic in. It is too much dilution. I think, we prefer a 3-to-1, 4-to-1, tonic to gin ratio. If you have a gin tonica glass, sometimes it's an 8-to-1. It's just way too much tonic, and the gin gets a bit lost in it. I'd also like to share with you our slow gin, which is very special. This is Schleer auf Deutsch.
Yeah, Schleer,
and they grow in the same in Germany. In the autumn time, they ripen, and we pick them in the hedgerows around here. We also have to buy quite a lot in because there's no way we'd be able to pick, the amount we produce ourselves by hand. And then we steep them in our gin, our regular gin at 42% in a big 200-litre barrel for 6 to 7 months. And then we decant the berries. And then what is left is this lovely slow gin, but it's unsweetened. We don't add the sugar until the end. So we would line up different ratios of slow gin to sugar. We'd start with an 8-to-1 of slow gin to sugar syrup, down to a 4-to-1 ratio of slow gin to sugar syrup. We would taste them all, and then each year is different, and then we decide which one we bottle. And it's interesting. This year we are bottling a 5-to-1 ratio of slow gin to sugar syrup. Last year, I think it was 7-to-1. It changes every year. Sometimes the berries we buy in are maybe slightly more ripe than the previous year and have slightly higher sugar content. But we're very proud of it. It's absolutely delicious. And I think the same in Germany. It's a winter drink.
Yeah.
And
it's very nice.
You put it in a hip flask and take it out for a walk and a hike, or when you're out hunting or watching a rugby match or a soccer match, and it keeps you warm. And then we also use it in our hedgerow martini cocktail, which is elderflower.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know what the German for elderflower is.
Holunderblüte.
Yeah, and blackberries as well.
Blackberries, Holunderbeere, that's elderberries. Blackberries,
it's like a bramble in a black.
Yeah. I'm missing the German word at the moment.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we use the slow gin and a little bit of fresh lime juice and shake it up in a cocktail shaker. And this is our autumn-winter signature cocktail, and the rhubarb martini.
Okay, so it's okay. I got the comments. It's Brombeere. Yeah, here everybody's saying Brombeere. Okay, yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's
all from the hedgerows, the elderflower, the blackberries, the sloes, all forage from the hedgerow, and then it makes a wonderful autumn-winter cocktail.
That sounds great. Yeah, you will have it available by the end of the summer. The slow gin. Yeah. That's. I like it that.
We can ship them out to you in September.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Oh, okay, great. Stefan is saying his mother. He's growing strawberries in her garden, and he will try to use the strawberries in the Bertha's gin, as I did, because I recommended it. Yeah, we have strawberry time at the moment here, so it's very good. Yeah.
We also use our gin for cooking. We make a superb gravlax with salmon instead of with vodka, which is more traditional. You cure it with vodka and pepper and sugar and fresh dill. We use Bertha's Revenge gin. We substitute the vodka with our gin, and all the spice flavors come through the salmon, and it's really delicious way to make a gravlax. Very simple.
Okay, that's interesting. Yes, I think there are so many more ways to have a gin than just neat or a gin tonic. You just have to be open-minded for that. we will have I will have with Julia and Torsten a gin stream on Thursday, and we will try gins without tonic with other fillers like lemonade or Coke or I don't know what. Yeah, so we will try to go away from the tonic and add another filler. So I don't know what will happen. We try it.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, we have another question. Is there a tonic water you can recommend for the gin tonic?
Yeah, sure. We recommend the Fever Tree. I think it's very widely available in Germany. Yeah. And we recommend the classic Indian Fever Tree. It's good quality. There's an Irish one here called Poachers, which we use, and I'm sure you produce some really good quality tonics in Germany as well. So again, the most important thing is not to get use a tonic that has too much botanicals or flavor or spice, because it'll clash with Bertha's Revenge Gin. You want a very classic Indian tonic that will allow Bertha to express herself in the gin and tonic.
Yeah, and this is what I think. Bertha is a gin you taste in the tonic. Sometimes you have gins when you add tonic, you just taste the tonic and no more gin. And here you really taste also the gin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we have lots of people who are also like to drink a whiskey, we have a very interesting comment. It's in German, but Hagen says, for whiskey, you need several like malt or grain or anything like that. But at gin, every fruit becomes to his true passion. So now fruits have sense for Hagen because he can use them in a gin and tonic. Yes. So I think maybe he doesn't like to eat fruits neat. He can add them to his gin tonic.
Yeah.
Very good. And Torsten would like to have a salmon with you with Bertha and gin.
Yeah. Sure.
Yes.
I look forward to that.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, he's also going once a year. Once a year to Ireland. So I think he will also visit you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, any time anyone has any questions, or if they're visiting Ireland, please come and say hello. We're always happy to show you around and share our gin with you. And if anyone ever has any questions, please reach out. Our contact details are on our website. Ballyvalan has spirits.ie. If you Google Bertha's Revenge, you'll find it very quickly. Yeah.
What's the ABV of your gin?
Well, our gin is 42% ABV.
Okay.
And as you know, the higher the ABV, the more flavor it carries. And the legal minimum for gin is 37.5 in the EU. And that's why a lot of the cheaper, more inexpensive gins would be 37.5. And all the sort of craft gins tend to be from 40 up. Because, as I said, the more flavor. But also that means it's more expensive because you pay more duty. So, the higher the ABV, the more flavor it carries, but also the higher price it commands too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think a bit higher than 40% is very good for a gin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though it's very good to drink, and I really like it. And so I think. Is there anything you would like to add? Oh, I have something I have to add, because we were talking about the classes. At the moment, when you buy a bottle of Bertha's Revenge Gin on my website, www.irish-whiskies.de, you get one of these wonderful classes for free. Yeah. And we can recommend them, really. Yeah. That's very good gin classes.
Mm.
And you can get them for the whole June when you order a bottle of Bertha's gin. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much, Justin. Is there anything you would like to add about the distillery or about the gin?
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything. Just thank you all for your support, and particularly you, Marijke. I really appreciate your support over the years. It's very important to us. We're very proud to have Bertha's Revenge in Germany, and thank you for sharing the Bertha love.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and everybody, please keep in contact. You know, we're on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. Please reach out. You know, we love to hear what people think and where Bertha's available, and you know, it gives us a lot of joy when we communicate with all our Bertha fans around the world. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and I really like to see that. Yeah, Bertha is really a craft gin. This is really craft gin, and you do it with lots of passion. So thank you very much for taking your time talking about Bertha's gin. And as I said, it's available in Germany. You can order a bottle of it. And yes, and hopefully we see each other soon in Ireland.
Hope so.
Yes.
Cheers. Yeah.
Cheers. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.